Okay, wow. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer Glatzhofer, but you can call me Jen. I am a musical theatre performer and a voice teacher. And today, from the title, you can see that I will be returning back to So Young, a stunning, wonderful powerhouse of a vocalist. I am so excited, and I cannot believe it's been over a year since I last reacted to and analysed this singer, so I'm excited to be diving back in. This will be a reaction and analysis to her performance of Arirang Alone. As I mentioned, I'm so excited to be diving back into this vocalist. Stupidly, I have not got any tissues because the other two times that I've reacted to her, I will pop them up here as the video goes along, but I think I got quite emotional, so we'll see what happens here. If this is your first time visiting my channel, thank you very much for clicking over here. First of all, just to let you know, this is a reaction and analysis video, so I will be stopping and talking about the vocals. Sometimes that could be a little bit too much for people, but I'm just telling you now what to expect. If you want to watch the full video with no interruptions, then I have left the original video, the link to the original video in the description below. In the description below, you can also find my Patreon link, so if you do enjoy what I'm doing over here, do consider supporting me over there as well. But if you haven't done so already, please do hit that subscribe button and the bell button to be notified anytime I post. And let's get to it. What a stunning setup already. Let's just talk about, first of all, the first thoughts that come to mind is, well, obviously beautiful, smooth line as well. Like, look how easy and effortless it is for her to go from each register of her voice. It's kind of like she's warmed up her voice for the performance to come. Like, you know, where do we start? I get so happy when I hit the right one. G4 we start. So the top part of her chest voice, she's smoothly, her onsets are so smooth on there. You know, there isn't like an abrupt glottal onset or an aspirate onset. We're getting on there so smoothly, crescendoing on that note as well. So we're showing a lot of voice, vocal control, breath control. Stunning. Then as we go higher, as we ascend in pitch, you can feel how thin the sound is, how small that space is as well. Her mouth is just kind of staying relatively still. I can talk about just this little section for so long. It's beautiful. So up on G5, up that. Nice. Wow, oh my god, this is so, there is such a light connection to her voice. It's like, it's still connected. There's elements of breath kind of throughout as well in like some places, but otherwise we're keeping really, it's like a lullaby. It's so delicate, it's so pretty, and it's so soft but still so connected to her voice. She isn't like forcing that sound to be light by like adding heaps of breath and hootiness from above, because that doesn't sound nice. It's just so angelic. And she's kind of this whole da, da. So that is a different part of her voice than when she comes down into these lower notes, right? But the transition up there is so smooth. I'm going to keep smooth, seamless is going to be words I will be repeating a lot, I think, today. But that's through her transitional periods, and her transitional kind of section of her voice, her first passage, right? D5 up in her head voice. As we come back down there, we're bringing elements of that because we're not landing so fully into her chest voice, like into these thick folds. She's keep maintaining that light feel. We're going straight on that vibrato. Different kind of quality here. I love the strings on there. Dun, 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 dun. That's really like just enhanced that kind of excitement almost. It's kind of, you know, it's very pretty. Now we're getting a little bit of staccato rhythms kind of at the back, which is lovely. But yeah, notice this little phrase that we just had here, there's a little bit more of a different mix here. So when I'm talking about the mix or the mixed voice, I am talking about the combination of the chest voice and head voice. And this doesn't always have to be 50-50. So very much now to, like we just mentioned the section before, it's very, as we kind of transition through up to our head voice, we are quite head dominant. We're getting into, you know, these lovely lighter kind of placement up at the top. Now, just in this section here, we have increased our chest connection. So we decreased the head voice. It's still there, maintaining there because we need that element to make sure that transition is smooth into that part of our voice. But we are increasing that speech-like quality a little bit, increasing our thicker fold connection. So we're getting a little bit more of a thicker, fuller sound. And I think she starts off with a w sound. So w. Up on that B, wow. So she is starting that fuller connection right on that first passage, which is like, woof. And the mouth is a lot more open here as well. I love how the music stopped there. That was so impactful. It's really lovely to kind of hear this kind of consistent dynamic that we're having. We're not necessarily getting louder and quieter, very much like, you know, swapping in and out of dynamics or different kind of qualities of her voice very much. We're kind of either quite light or we got a little bit more of an increase of her chest connection there. But otherwise, we're maintaining around the same sort of kind of quality. And it's really lovely because, well, I've seen and we've reacted and analysed here over on my channel to other of her performances. So I kind of know where SOHYANG's voice can go. But it's lovely to see and hear how her parts of her voice are developed and how they are like this, knowing where she can go. So in order to get these, you know, big sounds and these higher belts, we need to make sure our head voice is developed. And SOHYANG is proving that time and time again. It's beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay, wow. So just before I stop, before I said like we know where SOHYANG can go, here is a quick example. Let's go back because there's lots to kind of break down here. And I want to start. She does this kind of like guttural kind of calls, and it kind of comes from within. And this is when we're going for these high notes, yes, everything is traveling up, like, you know, we're ascending, we're thinking higher. Our vocal folds, our larynx isn't going higher in order for us to reach those notes, right? The changing of the larynx going lower or higher, that changes the tone because we're changing the vocal tract. What's actually happening is that the vocal folds are stretching and thinning. So when stretching and thinning out, so when we're in our chest voice, in our speaking register, our vocal folds are short and thick. And then as we sing higher, as we ascend, the vocal folds stretch out and thin out as well. Hence why I do these movements, hand motions a lot. Think of it like an elastic band. So as we are going up, like you can feel that kind of, we'll go back to those, I think there's like 2, and I think it's on either the second or the third one that we get that lovely transition up to this high, glorious mixed belt up at the top, which is just seamless, stunning, but it's like something comes from down within. And we have to remember that as we are singing high, we need to make sure that we've got that level of support from down below. So engage your core muscles, engage like the resistance in our vocal folds needs to be there in order for us to keep and maintain that clear sound. If there's too much breath coming through, we're going to feel unstable. Let's go back. So there's one. We get a lovely, I think she's kind of keeping her mouth closed and then opening as we go up there. Yeah, so it's a fifth. We get, and it's going from a chest place, then a head dominant place. But because she's increasing that twang and that whine and resistance level in her vocal folds, we are kind of increasing the balance of that chest dominant in her mix. She starts off quite light, still connected to her chest voice though, and brings that up, so she's able to maintain that same quality in a thinner place. And again, here we start with a, so it's a bit more like this. I kind of want to avoid this kind of space because as soon as we do this, we're like squeezing our jaw. But SOHYANG instantly kind of changes that to she's not doing that higher note on this. So I think that kind of is like an urgency behind it, I think. Oh, then, yeah. So we get the fifth and then the fifth again. Then the third time it's just a fourth, and we go from the D to the G5. We get that, and we're maintaining. Look at this hand. I love a hand movement. We're getting this. It just ensures that everything is anchored and engaged, and we're still maintaining that thin space because it's a G5. We have to be in a thin space. It can't just be full on thick folds reaching up there. But it's such a beautiful mixed belt where she's in. There's so much connection in there. Up to a B flat. And notice, like you can hear and feel how tiny it is. If she was reaching up with her thicker folds, don't. I would no, just do not. Like, but she is placing this in such a balanced place. It's kind of all so forward, so lifted, through like the mix placement right here, and just look at her mouth, and she's like chucked her arm down. This is just, let's go back to here so we can feel this. And the ability, sorry, let's listen to that again. I like what the backing vocals going ha ha ha, which is very contrasting to what we're hearing from SOHYANG, which is just lovely. Let's just go back to that. Listen to SOHYANG, but appreciate what the backing's doing as well. to scream. And that cry in there as well. Lovely. Lovely D5 there. Nice. Yeah, woof. Lovely. Like, in order for her to be belting this B flat 5, like mix belting this high, it's high. Like you're in a thin placement, but in order to do that, look how controlled and developed her head voice is. I know it's something I say a lot, but it's just, this is why do not be afraid of your head voice. If you feel like, if you want to improve your mix and you're a chest dominant mix or like a belt sound up there, you have to work on your head voice, because that's how we're going to get lots of different colors to play around with. I love this kind of pinch that we're getting with our face as well, just to like place that in this brighter kind of placement too. Beautiful. And we land in our chest voice as well. You hear that? That we grab hold of it. Violence was like, yes. Such a connected voice. There is a fly flying around here. But yeah, look how kind of different it is now. We've kind of back down here. Da-da. So yeah, going up to the D5, we're still through her first passage. She's kind of, you know, she's worked on her voice through her first passage to know what blends and how much of what register she wants in order to get what quality. She knows what she's doing. It's just, yeah, it's wonderful. I like that call and response. That felt so low. It's a D4 where we're there on that. It's probably because we very rarely hear SOHYANG hitting these low notes, but it's still really connected there. It's a little bit quiet. Nothing wrong with that. But it's just meant so I couldn't really hear, maybe because of where the frequency was with all the instruments and the like orchestra behind her. But yeah. There's this like dark element there. Sorry for pausing right there, but I just need to... Right, shooting up to that G5 on this beautiful head voice placement, and then we switch on the note. Yeah, there's a to get up there, and then 3 on there, then we swap on the same note on that G5. This is what I was just talking about, right? So in order to have many options with how to sing more than how to sing that note, we have to be developed in all, like in our chest voice and our head voice. So not only can SOHYANG bounce up there on a lovely head voice sound, we then flip to a really open, I think the vowel changes to an A anyway, so we're going to be a lot more open, a lot more of that chest connection speech-like quality is able and more natural to be in there now, but we get a little bit thicker with that sound. It's lovely. Like a call out there. It's lovely. Oh. It's so warm. Well, okay, let's just, before we get onto this crazy ending, like, just look at this position of her. There's a slight, like, she is tilting her head a little bit, maybe I think this way, isn't it? And like up a little bit, but her whole chest is open, right? She's not reaching up. As soon as we do this and feel like we have to reach for that note, that's when we are wanting to reach up with our thicker folds, right? And that's just not going to be sustainable. There's lovely position, lovely and open. Her whole body is involved. It's just, it's stunning. And yeah, these arms. And that pinch. And that cry onto it. God, that control. Wow. The fact that she brings it down as well. Oh. The fact that she, yeah, brings it down rather than like finishes with this. You know, we had that B flat moment kind of way before as well. And then we just had this G5, just wow. Yeah, I loved how we returned. Even though we returned back to a quieter state, she is still so connected. And like there's a little bit of breath every now and then, but otherwise it's a full connected vocal fold closure movement that we're getting. So we're getting really lovely clear tones and clear sounds. And she just makes it seem so effortless and easy. It's just it's really a joy to watch. Well, SOHYANG, you've done it again. I am truly a fan. It's just, I love how she doesn't need to do too much as well. Like with, you could see her body getting involved and her arms getting involved, but otherwise she's just standing there and singing and belting her heart out, and it's just glorious. I loved the element of the lead violinist coming out as well, having her solo moment as well, and the backing singers. There is such a warm vibe to her performances, and people really connect to her and her story and get involved with her. I think that's so important. Well, thank you very much for watching this reaction and analysis video. If you did enjoy it, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, the bell button, and the thumbs up button, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!